Hi, it's me, Brent, from PathandTarot, the YouTube channel, as well as the blog of the same name. And here we are again in another unboxing video for a tarot deck. So what we have here is the Jungian Tarot by Robert Wang, or the Jungian Tarot, whichever way you want to pronounce Carl Jung's last name. Jungian, I don't know, that's when you put the IAN at the end of it, it kind of changes it. Anyways, okay, so what do we got here? We got the Tarot deck by Robert Wang. There's also a book that doesn't necessarily come with this tarot deck. This is actually a separate book, but it's related to this tarot deck. So I actually bought these at the same time, and they kind of came at the same time. So we're going to look at this book a little bit, just because I'm kind of curious to see what's in this, but what's not in the 44-page booklet that comes with this. So we'll be able to sort of just quickly see maybe what you're missing if you just bought this, and what you gain if you also bought this, Robert Wang's Tarot Psychology. So this would be quite a good little purchase if you were to get these two. So we're going to see how this all kind of works together. Sorry, I misspoke. So you got a 44-page booklet that comes with this, and a 78-card tarot deck. And what we'll be doing is we'll open up the tarot deck, play with the cards a little bit, just kind of see what's in it, like what's in this package. Maybe, and then we'll do a tarot reading with just the major arcana cards, because based on, well, it's hard to say what copyright is what. This is, oh, actually, sorry, this is US Games, so there you go. That's actually pretty easy to figure out, US Games. So just in case, we're not going to show the whole deck, but we will just show the major arcana, see what that looks like, and then we'll do a quick reading, because yeah, you can actually do a pretty good reading with just the major arcana cards. So you'll get a chance to see how one would do that, aka me, how I would do that. We'll fumble through it. We'll use whatever guidebooks necessary to maybe decode things that maybe I'm not familiar with. I've never seen this deck, so this is a new deck for me. So when we get to the reading part, I gotta improvise. Just gotta kind of have to do my best. So this will be a cool little test. I love doing these videos. Just I kind of talk about that real quick, because once this shrink wrap comes off, like that's it. I can't go back and like edit this video. This is all done, and it's just a one-take thing. So this is about as real as a unboxing gets. It's just one camera angle, one package, and we unbox it, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else to it. But I like this form because I'm going to try and capture all these little weird sort of things, like the intricacies of doing this kind of thing. I misspeak and all that, and I think it's kind of cool because imperfection is perfection. So there you go. All right, so here's how we'll kind of set this up. There's going to be links at the bottom of the video so that you can check out these products. I'll have links to my blog, a web page, if you want to learn more about tarot, and there'll be some resources as well. And you can check that out. As a Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases, so you'll see that in the description below there too. Just trying to be completely transparent with you folks. So here it is. Let's just get into it. I always get kind of anxious. I mean, I've done this a few times now. I've done these videos, but every time, I don't know. It's just something about opening up this plastic wrap that I just get so excited. Oh, because once this is off, yeah, no going back. So here, I got my magic knife, and we're gonna open up the plastic. I've got a few resources here to help us. I've got some playing cards and another tarot deck, a ruler, just in case we want to really get serious with this, because the size, you can already start to maybe guess the size of it, so the cards don't look that big. But yeah, you'll be able to see on camera how big the cards are in comparison to something maybe you're familiar with, like a playing card deck and just a regular sized tarot deck. So I'm just gonna have some water. Haha. There we go. All right, let's do this. Okay, so let's make our insertion. Yeah. There we go, done. That's it. Woo! That's all I need the knife for. Just one little quick thing. I could have probably ripped it off just my hands, but you know, it's fun to use a magic knife. It is magic, by the way. Okay, so here it is. Cool. The shrink wrap is off. Now here's the interesting thing. Let's just sit with this for a second. So shrink wrap on a package. You know, that's kind of an interesting thing. So what that tells me is that inside this package is going to be fairly clean. You know, there should be no dust particles and all that stuff. Now, why would I even think about that? Why would we even really talk about that kind of thing? It's kind of strange, isn't it? Well, depending on how the package gets put together, I'm not even going to open this up because I don't know if the cards are going to be shrink wrapped in here or not. So yeah, why would that even really matter? Well, if the cards aren't shrink wrapped, then they may not be as clean to the touch, so the texture could be different as your very first experience. So your very first experience with something is kind of cool. You can't go backwards. That's it. That's your first experience. And based on what's in this package, we'll get our first experience. So if the cards aren't shrink wrapped, they may be a little dusty to the touch, possibly. Maybe the card stock has been just recently cut, and so there's like card particles on it, you know, and that can maybe change how you treat your cards afterwards if you're going to do some kind of cleaning ritual, a cleansing of some sort, you know, whatever you want to do. That may change how you do it. Maybe you want to wipe them down a little bit more. Maybe if they're shrink wrapped, you won't want to do that. Maybe they feel pretty clean, and then you can do some sort of other ritual to really bind the cards to you, to really make them yours. So, ooh, here we go. I'm kind of, I sort of excited myself. So, here we go. Whoa! Ooh, okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna move this book over to this side, so we don't need it just yet. So that's kind of neat. I like the colors. So look, it's like a sky blue in there. That's neat. So there we go. Got the package. So there's the guidebook. So kind of interesting. This is actually, you know what? Let's get into this book right now. Just because, you know, we'll jump around. That's okay. So this guidebook, I'm just gonna flip through it. It's not, well, I guess it's not a guidebook. It's tarot psychology, so it doesn't say guidebook or anything like that in the title. But basically, as I flip through it, it does resemble that because it's got a write-up of each card. And, you know, it's got an introduction here. So this is pretty cool. Again, I don't know much about this book, never seen it. These cards kind of got introduced to me just, you know, through Reddit, actually. I was reading a post about someone making a deck, and they actually cited this deck in particular, actually this one that we're about to see, as one of their influences. So I thought, okay, hey, if something influences someone to take action at, you know, that magnitude of making a tarot deck, well, hey, I gotta check this out. So here we are. But what I can see, tarot psychology, yeah, it appears to be like a guidebook. It's got a write-up of all the cards, so we could probably use this to maybe decode our reading later at the end. But it has a guidebook in this already, which is cool. So if you were to just get this, you know, you'd have your complete package. You have your cards in your guidebook, so you know how to read the cards. So here it is. Let's take the guidebook out. So it looks pretty compact here. Ooh, there's our first card. Interesting. Okay. So here's our guidebook. This is great. It's a nice little package. I love this. It's fantastic. Just, you know, having it this small like this is pocket. You can pocket this. You can take it places, or it just won't take up a lot of space depending on how you store your cards. So this is great. This is just basically, this is a guidebook, so there's not much to it. It's just got the write-ups of all the cards, and that's really all you need. That's all you would require to be able to sit down with this, learn the deck, and read it. So, okay, there we go. And, ooh, this is, hey, look at this. Okay, so what this has is the Planetary Associations. Actually, you may not be able to see it, but it has, the Robert Wang has associated planets to each of the cards, as well as the zodiac and all that. So this is really neat. This is very similar to how the Golden Dawn Tarot operates, and how Golden Dawn just operates as a whole with their tarot reading. The cards have planetary associations, planetary and zodiac. This seems to follow that as well, which is really interesting. The minor arcana also follow that in the same way, where they have the planetary signs mixed in with the zodiac signs. So each minor arcana has a particular sort of combination of a planetary sign and a zodiac sign. How great is that? So this really connects, these cards connect very well into astrology practice, and using that as a way to kind of build and create depth with these cards. That's great. I love it. This is I am interested already. Holy smokes! Yes, here we go. Look at that. You may not be able to see it, but these cards are shrink wrapped. I love that. Okay, I have an affinity for the shrink wrap. Maybe you could tell already. So here we go. So the cards are shrink wrapped. So this package was shrink wrapped and the cards are shrink wrapped. So what that tells me is when I open up these cards, they're going to be very clean to the touch. And that's kind of cool. I like that as my experience. And then as I, do whatever I want to do for a cleansing ritual or some sort of consecration to these cards, I don't have to rub them a lot. They're probably already clean. I can just do something different, maybe. Okay, so this is awesome. All right, so far so good. Let's get my magic knife back out here and open up this package. Before I do that, I will have some water. Perfect. Okay, so let's get this open. How exciting! All the shrink wrap. Who would have thought that shrink wrap would be that have that much of a talking point? So there we go. Shrink wrap is off. Yes. Oh. And if you could only feel these cards, they are very smooth and clean. They feel good. Yeah, these cards feel good already. Nice size. My hands aren't that big, you may not be able to tell. Actually, there's no reference. We'll use cards as a reference, but my hands aren't that big, so I do like smaller decks. I like them. They're easier to shuffle, easier to handle. But like a good medium-sized deck is kind of what you want. That's what will work for me. So yeah, these cards already they're sort of the perfect size already for me, at least. What's going on with this? Okay, so let's just before we get into it, why don't we just do the measurements? So this would be the Fool, is my guess. Now look at this. Notice anything a little off? Yes, of course. There's no writing. There's no anything that says Fool, anything that says 0, anything. Well, actually, no. Maybe there's that circle at the bottom for 0, but there's nothing really here that tells you what the card is on the card. So you would have to use the guidebook to figure out what's what. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so let's take the Fool off the top. Now let's just do some quick measurements and give you an idea of what we're dealing with. So this is just a playing card. This is actually a parquet deck, but it's the same size as your regular playing card. So there we go. Let's see that. So this fits very nicely right on top of the card. So as you can see, it's quite a bit, well, actually not that much bigger. It is bigger for sure, but not by a whole lot. Maybe you can see. Oh, that's better to see. So there you go. Like a Goldilocks size, not too big, but not too small. Let's take a look at a tarot card. So this is my custom printed deck, CBD Tarot by Dr. Yoban Dove, that I printed from playing cards. So this is like the standard tarot card size, like it's the default basically. But I like the size. This is a really good size. So let's take a look at how that compares here like this. Maybe you can see that. So this card is, again, just a little bit bigger. But if we take the parquet US playing cards card on top of that, yeah, it's quite a bit bigger. A lot taller. So this card isn't as tall. It seems to be wider and taller, so that's kind of cool. It's just a different shape of card, and yeah, that's kind of a neat thing. So how big is this? Let's take a ruler and have a look. Centimeters. Yes, centimeters. 11 centimeters tall. 11, yeah, that's exactly 11 centimeters tall. And about 4.5 centimeters wide. That's the wide, tall. I don't know. That makes sense to me. So there you go. That's the dimensions of this card. I think those are good dimensions. This really works for me. I like it. Okay, so I'm just gonna put those off camera. So there's the Fool. This is it. That's the Fool. And I think these cards are in order. So let's just see what we can. So there you go. The Magician. Very cool. Alright, so High Priestess. Really cool the symbolism here. You've got like the element water right there at the bottom there. So you can see that. There you go. That's kind of neat. So yeah, this is pretty neat. Wow, holy smokes. So this would be the Empress. There you go, Empress. The Emperor, so red. Cool. So they're really, I feel like the this deck is utilizing colors from the Golden Dawn, possibly, or how their color scheme is set up. This is cool. So I'm just, actually the camera may not be able to see this, but you've got, I like how artists put the date and or their name into the picture somewhere. And Robert Wang has done that quite in a clever way, at least with this card. He's got his name in there, and then 1985. So let's just go into this book real quick. I would have to guess that this was done in 1985. The copyright on this is 2018. Copyright 2018 US Game Systems. But it says 1985 on the card. Well, unfortunately, the guidebook, or this little booklet, does not indicate anything beyond the date it has in here, but it has 1985 in that card. I guess we have a mystery to uncover here. I like mysteries. Let's keep going. So what do we got? 4, so 5. So Hierophant, the Hierophant. Here we go with this. Pretty cool. Very priest-like. Interesting. It's almost like he's holding, I don't know, kind of like justice or something. You're weighing, you're balancing, or trying to weigh these two things. You got a man on fire and a globe. Cool. 5, 6. So that's lovers? Interesting. High Priestess. Empress, Emperor. Hierophant. The lover. So the lover, not lovers. Usually it can be lovers. But the lover. Interesting choice in name. So again, you've got the artists, maybe you can see that actually in there. So it's sort of cleverly hidden among the picture. That's cool, 1985. Thank you, Robert Wang, 1985. That's 35 years old. The Chariot. Interesting. Look at that. It's got like a color wheel on it. And what's cool is that the, yeah, maybe you can see it here. Robert Wang, yeah. So the color of that lettering changes depending on the color it's on top of, if that makes sense. So that was white, this is black. Huh. Okay, so what the Chariot, lover Chariot, this is strength. Okay. So sort of familiar imagery. Well, a particular set of images. I will have to. I'm very much looking forward to kind of learning about what these images and these symbols mean. Like a stairs going down to where? To like a hole? Oh, cool. All right. Far out. Strength, so that's 8. Hermit, here we go. Look at that. Sort of like a mage, an angry. No, he's not angry. Sorry. No, he looks happy actually. Maybe you can see that. It's sort of hard to see in my first thing. No, he looks kind of. Ooh, that's like a good happiness. That's like a really sort of compassionate, loving type of happy. The Hermit. One of the 3 magi, the Hermit, the Hierophant, and the Magician. All magical beings. So what's this? So we've got, what, the wheel? I've got the guidebook off camera here. Or no, maybe it is in camera, so it's right here. The Wheel of Fortune. There you go. It's like a color wheel. Just like on the Chariot. How cool is that? So it's like a woman and then a man is on the wheel itself. So there's like a very clear sense of, you know, female and male energy is sort of to create that duality. And that's really cool. That's you know, together that is a nice, I don't know what to call it, a symbol maybe, or just a concept, you know, because to be whole you have to embrace both your male and female sides. You know, if you're a male, you have to embrace your female. If you're a female, you have to embrace your male. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so what's this? We got, so yeah, we're Justice now, 11. So this is the 11th card. But there's no numbers, so how interesting is that? No numbers. Yeah, wow, okay. Sword and holding the scales, your typical Justice, Libra association. So of course Robert Wang has associated Libra with this card. It's a very clear association. Great. Alright, so what do we got here? The Hanged Man. Hanged Man. Yeah. That's a neat picture. Very interesting. Huh. It almost makes you feel like when you see the Two of Pentacles on some other decks. This kind of reminds me of that. Cool color choices as well too with the blues. There is a water association with this card because this is also related to Cancer, the astrological sign. Alright, Death. Whoa, here we go. Death, Scorpio. That's what the association is for this. This is pretty interesting. Of course, Death has the scythe and a hourglass. How interesting is that? Time. Yes. And then you've got like a woman in the background, kind of just almost looking like, why are you doing this? Why? Trying to grasp the sense of the human limitation, the finite lives that we have. But maybe that sort of sense that her, asking, oh, like, why is this happening? But that's how we have to sort of get through how we tackle death and what it means. It's kind of it makes you think. All right, so where are we at? Temperance, Sagittarius, Temperance. All right. So Temperance is usually, when you see Temperance, it's like a female figure mixing in water into something, or pouring water into a cauldron or something. So this very much matches up with that. That's pretty cool. Kind of interesting facial expression, sort of, a happiness. I feel like all the cards are somewhat happy. Here we are, we're at the Devil. Oh, that's a pretty cool Devil. Never seen any, I've seen a lot of tarot cards so far. Not a lot, but enough to think, hey, this is kind of unusual. It's a green person. A humanoid, very much a human figure, but a green figure. Not really sure what that means. Here we go. Let's just read what's in the guidebook. Nothing in here that tells me why this is a green person. Although it does have a material earthly association. Earth, grass, green, maybe that's it. I don't know. Cool. All right. What do we got? Devil, Tower. Okay, so Tower. There you go. So that's a pretty good, very foundational tower-esque picture. The tower on fire, people falling out of the tower. But now we've got a human figure, more specifically a male figure, that is seems to be on top of the tower, holding a rose. So it's like a sword with a red handle and a red rose. Okay. All right. There's some very heavy-handed, I guess pun intended, symbolism happening. Red. Okay. So here we are with the star. So I said Temperance is usually a woman pouring into the something, but actually it's more like the star. I got that kind of mixed up a bit. Here's the star. Look at that. Cool color choices, greens, blues, purples, a little bit of white, black, yellow, various blues. Yeah, very nice. The star, Aquarius, the age of Aquarius. Interesting. Yeah, inspiration and knowledge. Here we go. The sun, the star, our sun. And where are we at next? I'm just going along with the guidebook just to kind of make sure I'm on the right track here. The moon. Haha. Here we go. Again, never ever seen a moon card like that before. That is pretty wild. It's like Cruella de Vil, if anyone remembers the 101 Dalmatians movies and all that. That's pretty cool. Interesting. Okay, so you've got the two towers, got the two wolves, and then some other type of symbols. You got like a scarab and a snake. Huh. And then you've got like a man sort of standing there at going through the two towers into it. So yeah, there you go. You got the moon itself that has a face right there, and then you've got the sun. I guess that's cool. All right. Moon, what do we got? And then moon and the sun. The sun, soul, the archetype of the child, glory, honor. So yeah, I've never seen. Yeah, this is pretty cool. The sun. So it's depicting a child, and that's pretty cool. Actually, that's a really really good association. The child, like but as honest as you could ever find on this earth is a child, blank slate, completely pure, not held back by any experiences or biases. They will tell you like it is, what they really see. Cool. The sun. Yeah, there you go. The child. Judgment. Here we go. So maybe a more familiar judgment type looking card. A higher power beckoning or signaling to earthly figures, a male and a female, to represent, of course, the human race. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So it's like the trumpet's on fire. Yeah, very good. And then we've got, to end it off, the world. Well, how about that? Never seen anything like that before either, too. The world, holy smokes. So it's like a female figure holding a mask in front of her with a male sort of avatar. No, I guess like an icon, or I don't know what to actually call it. I'm sort of lost. An eagle head, an ox, I guess, and a lion right there in the card. So this is definitely more sort of a familiar of anyone who's seen the world card. So this is somewhat familiar, but strange because she's got a mask in front of her face. What is that? What does that mean? Outer appearances, okay. The world, Saturn. Oh, interesting. Okay. The Earth, practical matters, materialism, time and past, ambition. Okay. Well, there you have it, the world, and now we've got the rest of the cards, which I will cast away for the moment. But let me just hold them off camera and just peruse them, make sure they're all here. And yes, they are all present within this deck. What I can tell you is that the cards, the minor arcana, are just symbols, very similar to how you would read a much older deck, older than the Rider-Waite-Smith style of tarot, where there are like humanistic images that depict certain archetypal scenes. This does not have that. It's just the symbols of the suit, cups, swords, etc., all sort of arranged in geometric patterns on this card. So that's very cool. I like that. Makes you read the cards in a different way, which is nice. It kind of forces you to think differently. And from what I can see, it's very nicely color-coded with the right colors of the elements. Yellow for swords, which is air. Black for pentacles, which is the earth. And we got red for fire, of course. That's obvious. Blue for water. That's very cool. So there's a really great harmonization of all the right colors that fit into, at least how I understand it, is how the Golden Dawn works with their color schemes. So this very much follows that, and that's great, because that's sort of my interest right now, is how those colors work together and how they appear in tarot cards, and they appear as they should in this deck. And this is pretty cool. Ooh, did I show you? Whoa, yellow. All right, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, looks like all the cards are here. And what's interesting is that, you won't be able to see this, but in the minor arcana, the pip cards, the number cards, they have a circle at the top, and the circle is a different color on each of the cards. So I suspect that that's somewhat trying to act as a color connection to the Planetary and Zodiac Association. That's what I think. Ooh, dropped the cards. that's my thought. I don't know, but we'll see how I learn about this deck over time. So there's the cards. I'll put that off camera. Okay, let's inspect the physical touch of the card. We actually skipped over that. I probably should have done that at the beginning, but let's just feel the card. It feels very clean, just as I suspected. Double shrink wrapped. Shrink wrapped, and then the deck itself is shrink wrapped. So this card feels very clean to the touch. I don't think I would have to do much to this. In fact, I don't know if I'd want to, because I wouldn't want to damage the card stock, at least just yet. This will, age over time as I use it. But this feels good. Like this is ready. This is ready for me to use. I would just use this right out of the deck. Shuffle up the cards. Away you go. I don't know. I may want to do something ritualistic to, maybe connect with this deck, but I don't know if I feel like that's necessary. And that may, strike some people as odd, that, maybe more experienced tarot readers, but I feel that if you can generate a connection in any way that you find works for you, then you're good. You're connecting with your deck. If the deck feels clean, then it's cleansed. It's ready to use. You got to do whatever you got to do to put yourself in the right headspace for it, and it'll work. Because if you believe it'll happen, if you believe the results will happen, that's kind of what I meant. It'll work out. What you want to have come out of this will come out. These cards feel really good. They kind of feel, they are slippery a little bit, which I'm not the most fan of. I want some sort of stick to the cards. That's why I like this card stock, is that it's not very slippery. They're about the same maybe, but the Parquet card is very slippery, so they move around a lot. Okay. I'm gonna have some water real quick. Okay, alright. Well, we had a chance to feel the cards, look at at least the major arcana cards. We've pretty much gone through this whole package here. Let's look at the back real quick, because we didn't really get a chance to look at it. Very cool symbols. Very colorful. Now I don't think, actually, I was thinking like, hey, maybe this is just sort of like a collage of all the cards in the deck, but these images don't appear anywhere in these cards. So what does that mean? What does this all mean? I don't know. Okay, well, before we do the reading, let's just go over the Tarot Psychology book. Just real quick, flip through it a bit just to make sure we don't miss anything. Because what I was sort of trying to maybe figure out is that what would happen if you just got the tarot deck and not this? Would you be missing out of anything really big, or would it add to it in an amazing way? I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's just have another look. So there is an intro. Talks about Carl Jung, however you want to pronounce it. It's a Swiss name, so it's tough for me to pronounce names. Well, actually, I can't really pronounce most names, let alone my own last name, so there you go. Alright, so introduction. Okay, this is cool. So that's actually quite a quick introduction. I thought there'd be more. There's some introductions in some books that could be a whole book. Alright, let's keep going. Fool. Okay, so this just basically takes you through all of the cards. So what I would say is that if you got this deck and you didn't get this, then it wouldn't be a detrimental thing. You could get by pretty good because you've got everything you need in this guidebook. US game systems, haha. So you'd be okay. You'd know what the cards mean. You'd know how to read the cards. So you'd be okay. But it looks like this would go a lot more in depth because there's only really if you look at, I mean, you could see with this, barely a paragraph, like just a very short paragraph. This has multiple paragraphs, so you're dealing with, you know, page and a half of information on the card. So there's a lot more here. So I would eventually get this. It would be certainly a good idea, because it seems like this book talks about the cards in a different way. Just to give you an example, the Death card here is referred to as the Mother as Gateway. So that's not really represented here in this little guidebook. So there is something more to get from this book. So yes, I would eventually get this. And I believe I can't read this that fast, but I'm guessing that this new sort of definition that it's talking about is explained in these few paragraphs here. And it goes through, has the court cards, all the minor arcana, the pip cards. So there you go. I would say yes, you're going to want to get this if you have this deck, but maybe not right away. You could probably get used to these cards and then work with this. And it's kind of neat because I just saw here, I didn't catch this, but at the very end of the book, you've got a 34-week course using the tarot cards. So that's pretty cool. I won't spoil it for you, but it seems like you'll be having your hands full with this book, and that's a good thing. Lots of things to do. So there you go. That's a pretty cool package. I'm really excited actually to kind of work with these cards, read the book, and understand that more. What else do we have here? That's pretty much going to be it. I think it's time to do this reading. What time? We got about 40 minutes in there. So thank you for sticking around with this. I like to really dive into this and take a bite out of these cards. Let's get this shuffled up here, shall we? Ooh, so they are pretty tight. I like that. I don't like really, really thin cards. I want the cards to have enough give, because I know it's not good for the cards. I mean, yeah, yell at me in the comments, whatever. But I like to do the riffle shuffle like this. Why do I like to do it? Because it really shuffles the cards well. It gets them in a good random order. And it doesn't take up a lot of space. Otherwise, if I wanted to really mix up these cards, I would have to, smush it like this. And so if I'm sitting at my desk or, something like that, I don't have a lot of space. I can just shuffle the cards. And it's very meditative for me. I like the physical process of it, the sound of the cards going together like that. And yeah, I feel that it really does shuffle your cards very well, and the results are quite excellent. If you are curious about more exact shuffle methods, I just thought of it now. Why don't I just put my link in the description on how to shuffle your tarot deck. You can watch that and check it out, see if you want to add anything new to your repertoire of shuffling. So if you didn't want to shuffle the cards that way, I get it. You would be sort of in a position to find other methods of shuffling. This would be a good method, a smush, as you can see. I'm doing that right here. I'm just smushing, mixing, washing the cards is another good way to explain what this is. Washing, mixing, smushing is good. Smush. I'm gonna have some water to smush my throat. Haha. Okay, so. Well, I mean, these cards feel, so I get the moisture off my hands, off the cup, so I don't get the cards wet. Okay, alright, so these cards feel fairly mixed. If you do this for a minute, or I guess a few minutes on a regular tarot deck, that's pretty mixed up. Like, you really do want to have these cards shuffled as randomly as possible. You don't really want clumps, because then you just end up with these repeating patterns, right? You want to kind of erase all of that, have something that's truly chaotic, and give you just, a completely random answer. that's just how I feel, you know. That's how I want to have my cards talk to me. So I like to take the time to shuffle them really, really well. And then it allows me to kind of embed my intentions in the cards too. So that time is really well utilized as well, you know, like we're doing here on camera. So this is kind of cool. It's like a very meditative thing. I like the sound too. Well, why don't we talk about the surface real quick? This is Duck brand shelf liner that you can get, well, pretty much anywhere they sell, like, you know, household stuff. This is in like the Walmart plate section where you can buy dinner plates and stuff. So I was looking for a cloth, and this seemed to be the perfect thing. Like, it sticks to the table, but it doesn't, the cards don't stick to it that much. You can still slide around, but they don't slide around too much. They kind of stay put. So it's like literally the perfect, absolutely the perfect mat, at least for me. I like the texture. Ooh, there we go. Strength. Haha. How uncanny is that, strength? So this is like the perfect texture to have your cards on. And nothing rubs off on the cards. This is, you know, you could just sit here, I could do this, and it's not going to rub any color into it. It's not going to damage it. So it's a really, really good mat, or I guess you can say cloth, to use to work with your cards. Because I really don't like to work with the cards on like on any other surface that can damage the card, like a table. Even though this is a wooden table, it could still have nicks in the table that could scratch the card or something like that. Or if a surface is dirty, you know, that sort of thing. This would always be fairly clean to the touch. Just roll this up and all that. I don't have to worry too much about it. Let's do another. Yeah. See what I mean? The sound is cool. Gonna do some overhands here. I like to do the overhands just at the very end to finish it off. Overhands don't do too much for shuffling the cards. They're really just bringing the bottoms into the top. But if it's already shuffled, then you're sort of good. So that's how I do it. So what are we gonna do? What sort of thing should we do for the cards? What questions should we ask? What should we do? Maybe I'll just have a sip of water and let you, the viewer, maybe sit with that. Think about it for a second. Maybe you've got something on your mind. Maybe the cards will be able to answer something for you right now, or in just a second. I guess I've done this before, so usually what I've asked is, show me how to do a good reading. That's a good question, because, you know, that's kind of what we're doing, I guess, in a way. We're sort of asking about what we're doing right now. Maybe I should change that. I don't know. I'm not sure. What should we ask? What do you want to ask? What do you want to ask? What do you think? If you're sitting at home, this is kind of maybe I'm dragging this out a little bit because I'm waiting for you to maybe think of something. So maybe I'll keep the deck like this. That seems to be a good idea. Why don't we just stick with show me what it takes to grow this YouTube channel. Ooh, that's a good one. Let's do that. Show me, hey, Jungian Tarot by Robert Wang. Please show me what it would take to grow this YouTube channel. That's a good question. So let's do this. I think what I'll do is I will draw 4 cards in maybe whatever direction I want, and then just, leave this pile here in the center, and see what happens. I don't know. I'm just gonna move these things off camera a bit. There you go. Bring that in. There we go. So that looks a little better. I want to just give you a clean, full view of these cards as they work together in the card spread. So let's do that. So, ooh, the Magician. Crazy. How literal is that? That's kind of how I'm perceiving that. Let's just utilize the guidebook. There's no shame in using a guidebook, to be honest. If you want to use it, I think you should do it. it's good to memorize, but you know, there's lots of cards out there that can mean subtle different things. Subtly different things. I don't know how to say that. The Magician. Absolute freedom of true will, works of genius. Wow. It's like it's quite the pat on the back, maybe. PathandTarot. Here we go. The Tower. Ooh, Tower. Well, how about that? So we have to sort of destroy something in order to get better, because we were asking what will it take to grow the channel. So we have to sort of destroy, have an upheaval of something to overcome that. So, but this, in this deck, it means maybe something slightly different. Quarreling, destruction, antagonism, upheaval, revenge. I don't feel that revengeful. Powerful energy. Offensive power. So offense. Maybe this is sort of a different type of tarot, or sort of a tower card. Maybe this is really talking about going on the offense. Because the tower in other decks can sort of mean sort of like having the carpet just pulled out from under you, and you just, it's like an upheaval, and that changes to, ooh, the Temperance. So Temperance, okay. Combination of forces, action to create harmony. So offensive action to create harmony. That's interesting. Huh. So Mars, Sagittarius. What's the Magician about? The Magician is Uranus. Uranus. Okay. All right. Temperance. What do we got here at the bottom? The Chariot. Wow. Wow. So, to become the Magician, I must have an offensive plan that allows me to combine forces to create harmony, distinguish the outer appearances and inner power, to then create for me my chariot into the stars. Oh, that's kind of cool. Chariot. Free flow of thought, transmission of news, brilliant, profound brilliance, clarity of communication. So, well, I think what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take this card off the top. Oh, death. Wow. Whoa. So something really has to just, like, die to get to the next level. What could that be? Whoa. What do I gotta, like, burn down? That's kind of what I'm feeling, is I gotta burn something down. Now, you may not know this, but I have other blogs. I've got another blog that I started alongside this blog. Maybe I'll tell you about it here. I feel like I should, because these cards are sort of asking me to maybe, I feel like, sacrifice something to grow this channel. But I did a blog called New Do Review. I'll put it in the description below so you can check it out. I'm not trying to sort of hijack traffic. I mean, they're both my blogs, but that was the first blog I started so I could learn about affiliate marketing, which is really what's kind of happening at a core level here. There's associates links for Amazon, and that's affiliate marketing. That's what it is. You make content, people check it out. You make something that's valuable, that's educational, which is what I feel I'm doing, and you know, there's something in there that can create value for somebody else by purchasing a product of some kind. In this case, it's tarot cards. These are, to me, these are valuable things that I appreciate. So for me, in a way, this is a sales promotional video in a way, but that's really what sort of affiliate marketing kind of revolves around, is selling products. How do you do that? You make content. Now that we're in the digital world, everything is video or articles and all that. You make lots of it, and hopefully people come to your website or channel, check it out, take action of whatever they want to do. Or maybe they don't, it doesn't matter. But that's kind of what affiliate marketing is. So I started the blog New Do Review to learn affiliate marketing, talk about things that I had some interest in. Affiliate marketing products, weird sort of stuff, ways to maybe cheat or gain a leverage or an advantage, which maybe I shouldn't say that's cheating, that's probably the wrong word, but some sort of leverage against what's out there. But then eventually I just pivoted the blog and changed topics, so now it's more of a music blog because I have a degree in music composition, a Bachelor of Fine Arts in music composition, so I can compose music on paper and give that to a musician and they play the music. I was also an electric bass player in a band as well. I recorded an album and got to have that incredible experience, but that was in the past, and that was what the blog was trying to tap into, is that personal experience. So maybe what this is saying, that I have to give that up and do this 100% full time. Just get rid of that. Maybe. I don't know. Does that feel right? I don't know. I'm not sure. But it's certainly saying I have to give something up in order to grow this channel. Give something up. Something has to die. I have to sacrifice something. And by doing that, it seems I will become the magician. Because this is the first card I drew, so I think that makes sense. Well, and then Temperance. Yeah, so there's sort of like a tempering of the spirits with that card. But a clear, frank and open, clear direction. At least that's what this is saying. I think that's about it. How cool is that? So how did that